Building instead of begging, how Black women are rewriting the rules of success. I recently had the privilege of interviewing Ayshia Editone, whose groundbreaking work in economic empowerment has transformed countless lives across America. Aisha isn't just another consultant or speaker, she's a visionary architect rebuilding the very foundation of how we understand success and opportunity. Her revolutionary approach to community wealth building has literally saved lives, restored dignity, and created pathways where concrete walls once stood. The insights she shared form the backbone of what I'm about to tell you today. Have you ever noticed how we're taught to wait for permission, to stand patiently in line for opportunities that may never come? 3 years ago, I witnessed something that forever changed my perspective. A brilliant woman at a conference, her credentials impeccable, her insights razor sharp, raised her hand for 20 minutes straight. 20 full minutes. Meanwhile, male colleagues with a half her experience were acknowledged immediately, their half formed ideas celebrated with enthusiastic nods. When she finally spoke, her idea completely transformed the direction of the project. That moment crystallized something I've observed repeatedly in my conversations with Ayshia Editone. Waiting for inclusion is a luxury many cannot afford, especially Black women. The numbers tell a striking story. Since 2019, businesses owned by Black women have surged by nearly one third, 32.7% to be exact, reaching more than 2 million enterprises, generating over $118 billion annually. But behind these impressive statistics lies a more profound truth that Aisha emphasized throughout our conversation. This isn't just entrepreneurship, it's revolution. When the front door remains locked, Aisha told me, leaning forward with the intensity in her eyes, you don't just keep knocking, you build your own house. This philosophy of building instead of begging represents a fundamental shift in how success is pursued. It's about creating what you need rather than waiting for someone else to provide it. It's about recognizing that sometimes the table you're trying to get a seat at isn't even worth sitting at. Let me introduce you to Kathy Hughes. Born in 1947 during segregation era America, Hughes founded what would become Urban One, now the largest African American broadcasting company in the world. As a single mother facing racial profiling and financial hardship, she built her media empire from scratch. Hughes encountered systemic racism in media ownership, struggled with limited resources, and faced repeated rejections from lenders. One bank officer told her directly, and I'm quoting here, we don't lend to women, and we certainly don't lend to Black women. Can you imagine hearing those words while trying to pursue your dream? Most people would have walked away defeated. Some might have protested. Hughes did something far more powerful. Instead of internalizing that rejection, Hughes leveraged her passion for storytelling to create content centered on Black voices. She persisted through setbacks by reinvesting every dollar into her business while building strategic partnerships within her community. The result? Urban One became a multi million dollar enterprise empowering Black narratives nationwide. Hughes is now recognized as one of America's most successful self made women with a net worth of $460 million. She became the first African American woman to head a publicly traded media company, creating platforms that reach millions daily. But what's most remarkable isn't the wealth, it's the doors she opened. Hughes didn't just build a business, she paved the way for minority ownership in media industries, proving transformation is possible against all odds. This pattern of transforming rejection into creation isn't isolated, it's becoming a movement. Consider Ebony Cochran. In June 2025, she launched the Detroit Wealth Club, a community driven business school dedicated to empowering Detroiters with entrepreneurship education rooted in economic justice. Cochran faced significant barriers as Michigan's first Black woman Little Caesars franchise owner, navigating funding gaps, systemic exclusion from traditional business spaces, and a lack of culturally relevant support systems. But rather than accepting these limitations, she invested $155,000 of her personal funds alongside grants to create what she needed. After recognizing persistent inequities within mainstream entrepreneurial training models and experiencing them firsthand, I decided to build the access I wanted to see rather than waiting for inclusion elsewhere, Cochran explained. The Detroit Wealth Club now operates from a 300 square foot facility, serving as both educational hub and movement headquarters. Through mentorship programs focused on credit literacy and real estate tailored specifically for underrepresented entrepreneurs, she's fostered peer accountability networks that have empowered hundreds towards sustainable business ownership. What Cochrane understood, what Ayshia Editone emphasizes, is that true transformation requires more than individual success. It demands community infrastructure. This brings me to perhaps the most powerful insight from my conversation with Aishaya. Resilience is not just personal, it's collective. From 2019 to 2023, we witnessed an unprecedented surge in Black women leaving corporate America. Many left due to burnout or being pushed out without safety nets amid workforce restructuring or wage gaps. They faced institutional barriers such as lack of capital access or representation at leadership tables. But instead of retreating, they built. Instead of begging for inclusion, they created alternatives. These entrepreneurs joined gig economies offering autonomy and flexibility, or reskilled into high growth fields like digital services and healthcare innovation. Their businesses aren't mere side hustles, they're robust economic engines transforming communities while replacing isolation with collective influence. The year over year growth rate exceeded national averages by 7%. Professional communities fostering shared power over isolation emerged. New pathways toward generational wealth building outside legacy institutions were established. As one entrepreneur put it, I stopped asking for a seat at the table when I realized I could build a better table. This shift has profound implications for how we understand success and transformation. Three principles emerge that Asia Editone consistently highlights. First, resilience is a choice. No matter your starting point, you have the power to pull yourself up and transform your life through intentional action and belief in your own potential. This isn't toxic positivity, it's strategic empowerment. Second, community and legacy matter. Building success isn't just about personal gain, it's about uplifting others, creating supportive networks, and leaving a legacy that opens doors for future generations. The most sustainable success creates pathways for others. Third, an action trumps circumstance. Your circumstance do not define you. Your willingness to take action, seek knowledge, and embrace change does. Every challenge holds an opportunity for growth if met with courage and strategy. The soft life Aisha told me, her voice softening with emotion, isn't about ease. It's about ease of being yourself. It's about creating spaces where you don't have to constantly fight to exist. This perspective resonates deeply with the journey many Black women are on, moving from survival mode to creating space of authentic thriving. It's about dropping the superwoman cape and embracing a new definition of strength that includes vulnerability, rest, and boundaries. As I reflect on these stories, I'm reminded of a powerful affirmation Ayshia shared. I am not just surviving anymore, I am building, breathing, and becoming exactly who I was meant to be. For too long, success has been defined by assimilation, fitting into existing structures regardless of how uncomfortable or unwelcoming they might be. What these women demonstrate is that true transformation often requires building new structures altogether. This isn't about rejection, it's about creation. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most powerful response to exclusion isn't fighting harder for inclusion, it's creating something better, something that honors your full humanity from the start. The Detroit Wealth Club's motto captures this perfectly. We're not just building businesses, we're building the world we want to live in. This approach requires tremendous courage. It means stepping into the unknown without guarantees. It means risking failure in pursuit of authentic success. But as these stories demonstrate, the alternative, continuing to shrink yourself to fit into spaces not designed for your flourishing, exacts an even greater cost. So I ask you today, what are you waiting for permission to build? What dream have you postponed because the existing pathways seem closed to you? The revolution happening right now isn't just about Black women in business, it's about all of us recognizing that transformation doesn't require permission, it requires vision, courage, and the willingness to build what doesn't yet exist. Question the waiting. Are you postponing your growth or happiness until someone else grants permission? What might happen if you decided to create what you need instead of waiting for it to be offered? Redefine success. Beyond material achievements, how might success include your wholeness, your community's well being, and the legacy you're creating? Success that costs your peace is too expensive. Embrace collective resilience. None of these women succeeded alone. They built networks, mentored others, and created communities that sustained them through challenges. Your transformation doesn't have to be a solo journey. As Ayshia Editone emphasized throughout our conversation, the most revolutionary act is sometimes simply believing you deserve more and then creating it. I challenge you today. Identify one area where you've accepted limitation due solely to circumstance. Take one bold step toward changing it, even if it means seeking help, starting small, or simply reframing what's possible. The world doesn't change when we ask politely for a place within broken systems. It changes when we dare to imagine and build better ones. Your softness deserves space. Your dreams deserve infrastructure. Your life deserves to be lived on your own terms. Stop begging, start building. Thank you.